You ready? All right, great.
Just tell me if I'm about to get caught.
For a chain reaction, don't let me down. Sashay, Shantae, Sashay, Shantae. Turn to the left, now turn to the right. You see these jewels? They are paid for. Are you ready for this? Sashay, Shantae. All right, I thought so. I have one thing to say. You better work. You better work. I have one thing to say.
Say, do one of you guys know how to Madison?
I have one thing to say.
I'm crucified.
I have one thing to say.
Missing. See, this what DJs do when they're bored.
I have one thing to say.
I don't believe in reincarnation because I refuse to come back as a bug or as a rabbit.
You know, you're a real up person.
I have one thing to say.
Where you are, I could spit in your eye with no strain at all.
I have one thing to say.
Avon calling.
Come on, Peg, I never buy anything from you. You know that.
I know.
Bye.
Bye, Helen.
I have one thing to say.
I told you how important this is to me. I told you.
I have one thing to say.
My, I'll bet you monsters lead interesting lives. I said to my girlfriend just the other day, gee, I'll bet monsters are interesting, I said. The places you must go and the things you must see, my stars. And I'll bet you meet a lot of interesting people, too. I'm always interested in meeting interesting people. Now let's dip our patties in the water.
Wow! I have one thing to say.
Wait a minute, I ain't got all these doodads sewed on yet.
I have one thing to say.
So, come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I see you shiver with anticipation.
I have one thing to say.
I told you how important this is to me. I told you.
I have one thing to say.
Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to? Why can't you treat me the way I would be treated by any stranger on the street?
I have one thing to say.
Don't you act for me.
I have one thing to say.
If you just saw me walking down the street, you'd think I was a queen.
I have one thing to say.
As I live and breathe, a fairy.
I have one thing to say.
Beta! Get out before I kill you.
I have one thing to say.
You sound just like Fred Mertz.
I have one thing to say.
I'll get you, my pretty.
I have one thing to say. You better work, bitch. I have one thing to say. your picture everywhere. See your picture everywhere. $1 million dairy, yeah. Ooh, yeah. And when you walked into the room, you had everybody's eyes on you. Supermodel. Linda, word mom, Naomi, she is fit. Christy, vaccinated, out of sight. Cindy, I can feel it. Claudia, sail the gun. Nikki, work the runway, sweetie. I have one thing to say. Sashay, Shantae, 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 Shantae. I have one thing to say. Sashay, Shantae, 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 Shantae. It don't matter what you wear, don't matter what you wear. They're checking out your savoir-faire. And it don't matter what you do, 'cause everything looks good on you. Supermodel. Work, cover girl, work it girl. Do your thing on the runway. Work, you better work it girl. Wet your lips and make love to the camera. Work, turn to the left. Work, now turn to the right. Work, sashay, Shantae. Work, turn to the left. Work, now turn to the right. Work, sashay, Shantae. You better work, work, work. Supermodel. You better work, 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 I have one thing to say.
Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to? Why can't you treat me the way I would be treated by any stranger on the street?
I have one thing to say.
¡Ay! ¡Bendito! Se acabaron los pelos. My hairs, not my hairs. All right. Go ahead, say it. No, it's okay. I can take it. Tell me I look like shit.
I have one thing to say.
Everyone knows that you're nothing but a second-rate lounge act. I don't care what you say to my face, you viper. Retract this or I'll cram it down your throat. Will you?
I have one thing to say.
You son of a bitch, go help him!
I have one thing to say. I have one thing to say.
Look, Vera, I really don't have any feelings about Snatch.
Oh, wow.
I have one thing to say.
Is the English lady sick, Auntie Mame?
Oh, she's not English, darling. She's from Pittsburgh.
She sounded English.
Well, when you're from Pittsburgh, you have to do something. Now, where were we?
I have one thing to say.
Don't jerk me around. I'm not in the mood.
I have one thing to say.
No more hangers ever!
I have one thing to say.
I'll admit I may have seen better days, but I'm still not to be had for the price of a cocktail, like a salted peanut.
I have one thing to say.
I
have one thing to say.
Don't make fun of me.
I have one thing to say.
Well, obviously you got me mixed up with someone who gives a shit.
I have one thing to say.
We own the flowers don't own us. That's our motto here.
I have one thing to say.
Don't fuck with me, fellas! This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
I have one thing to say.
Ain't I, a stinker?
Hi, everybody. I'm Phoebe.
Hi.